Welcome back to the show, everyone. Where we last left off, we were captured in the cell being interrogated by the ladies here, and our hero is still trying to defend himself, and it's not working out pretty well.
Hey, Mio-san, maybe the whole angry accusation thing isn't working. This guy clearly isn't a bandit. We could just ask him why he was up there in the woods. If he has a valid reason, then sure. If not, then he's clearly a panty thief, and we'll use him as a punching bag out in the yard.
Finally, and here I thought this was about to become a turnabout case. That was weird. I sighed deeply, partly amused by my own act, despite the seriousness of the situation. Who would have ever thought that mimicking characters from games and movies would end up getting me out of trouble? As long as I didn't become an ace prisoner, things would hopefully turn out for the better. A wise idea, Narumi-chan. How about you start by giving us your name? Gushiken. Gushiken Takahiro?
Yep.
Gushiken?
Last name, then first name.
Oh, right. So what were you doing out in the forest when these two were chasing the thieves? I'm not entirely sure myself. One moment I was praying at a shrine hidden inside the forest. Next thing I knew, some weird girl was talking to me. A girl? Yes, a girl with horns and a tail. I know it sounds weird, but I could have sworn I saw her before. I must have fainted. After that, I woke up somewhere in the forest. Tsukino Dono, Narumi-chan, do you recall the stories behind the shrine near our village?
Forgive me, Elder Sama, I do not recall. I know it's a place of high spiritual energy, a sacred place, but I can't remember the details. Sorry, Grandfather.
That shrine belongs to Tsuyuri, a powerful spirit that has been watching over our village for as long as anyone can remember. Unlike the fox spirits, we tend to avoid going too deep into the forest.
I still think I could get rid of those pests once and for all if you would just let me go in and find their home. It's probably hidden in some damp cave on the hill or some run-down old house.
Humans and spirits rarely mingle, even if they meet with good intentions. The fact that this lad says he saw a spirit means there is a chance he was there for a reason. Not to mention, did you take a good look at him yet? He seems disoriented, and his clothes look foreign.
He did seem to be talking gibberish earlier. He claimed to be from a city near here, but there's nothing like that around for miles. He was also talking about something called a movie, and he used some fighting techniques that I've never seen before. He's still a pervert. I am not a pervert. It's perfectly natural for a guy my age to be curious about certain things. Besides, if you're talking about how the panties ended up on my face, I had nothing to do with it, tsundere tyrant. What did you just call me? I had to smash you to pieces, you brat! Oh, wait, now that I think about it, those two foxes did look like they were just abandoning them. But, Grandfather, what does this all mean?
I can't be certain. However, I believe it is unlikely that he's working together with the fox spirits. Still, I have never heard of any human to come upon a spirit such as Tsuyuri before.
Tsuyuri.
Fuck. I dare say he might not even be of this world. Wait, are you trying to say I'm in a different world now? That would be the most logical explanation. In what world would that be considered logical? That was exactly my thought when he said that. But, look, I have an important tournament to participate in 2 weeks from now. Well, no one has ever experienced something like this before. We will have to think of how to deal with you, or if it is even possible to get you back on your own world.
In the meantime, a night in the cell won't hurt. He did assault a village guard, and he resisted arrest. He could stay here until he rots for all I care, but I suspect the elder will wish to have a talk with you soon. Hikage, I'm going to clean myself off. I suggest you do the same. I would take offense for implying that I stink, but that was one hell of a run. Those fox spirits run fast. I would still like to know more about those techniques, Takahiro-san. If you do happen to stick around, I might want to go a few rounds with you.
It's not like I'll be going anywhere for the time being. It is only a few hours. Well, it is only for a few hours while we discuss what to do with you. A person such as yourself would end up causing quite the commotion amongst the villagers, so it is necessary to convince them that you mean them no harm before we release you. And that was how I found myself stuck in a jail cell while the people responsible for my situation left to deal with personal errands. This sucks. As if being sent to a different world wasn't bad enough, I'm stuck in jail with my only company being...
A pair of beautiful, magnificent, majestic fox sisters, you lucky boy.
A pair of beautiful... Wait...
Yahoo! Hi there, panty boy.
A familiar face appeared at the top of my cell, a blonde girl with golden eyes. As I watched, she flipped over and landed in front of the cell, waving her hands at me. From the side of the cell, another girl appeared, a wry grin on her face. Ah, it's the panty thieves. If you're going to reclaim your hostages, they are already back where they belong.
Nope, we saw the guards go into the baths and swipe some maiden silk again. Look.
With that, she pulled out a pair of lacy silken underwear from her sleeve and stretched it out with her thumbs, showing off her panty prize to me. You came all the way back here to snatch their underwear again, and I'm not sure the tsundere tyrant fits that label.
The cutie with the katana? You'd be surprised. I happen to believe she's as innocent as one can be. She seems far too uptight to let any man touch her. As for returning to the village, we have a debt to settle.
I smiled weakly as I wondered what the fox meant by debt. I'm not sure what this debt of yours might be, but I think you better leave before those two return. You don't seem to be on friendly terms with the samurai girls.
Wait, if he doesn't know about it, we can just leave, One-sama. Maiko, that's not how we do things. Young man, your actions allowed us to escape our earlier predicament without harm. This places us in your debt, for which we are now repaying you. Maiko, do the magic. Okay.
The younger girl walked forward and placed her hands upon the locked door of the cell. She began mumbling something that I couldn't even begin to understand, and her hands began glowing brightly. Different worlds, girls wielding weapons, and now fox girls using magic? Next on the list, I'm going to find a talkative magical sword and end up destined to save the world. That said, I was curious to see what this magic would do to the lock keeping me imprisoned. The glow flared for a moment before quickly fading. There was a hiss and then a sizzle as the lock dripped onto the floor in a mess of melted metal.
Well done, Maiko-chan. You did very well. Relax for now, alright?
I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be the most surprised about. The fact that a girl just melted a steel lock, or that I'm starting to accept that this is normal.
This level of magic is extraordinary. Maiko-chan is quite gifted. But as I said, we're here to settle our debt. If you would like, we can escort you back to the forest where we first encountered you. I do, however, suggest that you decide quickly. The guards do not bathe for long. I should know, I have observed them for a while.
Sultry. Well, I don't plan on sticking around, so I'll gladly accompany the two of you out of here. Maybe I'll be able to find my way back home. Lead the way, peeping Tammy.
Machiko. Sakura no Machiko, not Tammy.
Takahiro, but I suggest we keep the introductions for later.
Very well then, Taka-kun. Follow.
As I was stepping out of the cell, the sound of a familiar voice boomed in the distance.
Thieves! Crafty fox kleptomaniacs! I'll skin you alive!
I think that's our cue to get out of here. And with that, the three of us darted out of the prison. And that's pretty much what happened. According to the village elder, there's supposed to be a shrine somewhere in the forest. It must be the one I visited before I got caught up in this mess.
Goodness, that sounds like a terrible situation. I know that the spirits such as Suyuri enjoy playing with people, but this seems a little cruel of her. I would speak with her myself, but fox spirits are not allowed near the shrine. Huh? I thought the reason we were never to go there was because you get all flustered whenever Sue-chan's around. Shut up, Maiko.
I think Maiko's my new favorite. I didn't realize a panty thief could get embarrassed like that. But maybe you two should show me the way to the shrine? Somehow the layout of this forest seems different from my world, which pretty much meant that Aria's map was useless now.
You do not understand. There's more to the ways of spirits than meets the eye, Taka-kun. I will try to navigate you to the shrine, but if Suyuri does not want us there, then we simply will not get there. The only places we can navigate to directly are our home in the village. I could use gate magic, but that takes a super long time to cast. Unless I concentrate really hard, it usually ends up just taking us someplace, not fun.
I think I'll prefer taking the ground route, but thanks for the offer. Mayoko-chan, was it?
That's right, Sakura no Maiko at your service. Yay, my first human friend. Silly girl.
She has fangs. Not that I doubt your navigational skills or anything, but didn't we cross this path a while ago?
Oh, you're right. Why are we back here, One-sama? Huh? I thought you were leading the way. Wait, I think if we turn this way, cut through these trees here, we might... Ah!
The girl seemingly disappeared out of sight as she stepped in between two tall trunks, only to be followed by a loud splash. I ran toward the trees and looked down to see the girl, arms flailing wildly, neck deep in a slow-moving river.
Ah! One-sama, quick, please, you have to help her. I'm begging you. I'll do whatever you want. Just please save her. Help!
It doesn't look that deep, you know? Don't tell me that your sister can't...
She can't swim. Neither of us can. Please, Takahiro-sama, please rescue my sister.
I guess I don't have a choice. Smiling weakly, I pulled off my jacket and dove into the river, the cold water sending shivers down my spine as I swam toward Machiko, who, despite the lack of a strong current, was slowly disappearing under the water. Urged on by the worried shouts of Meiko, I tried to reach the girl as quickly as I could. It took me a few strokes before I reached her, but by the time I had grabbed a hold of her hand and pulled her out of the water, she had lost consciousness. She's not breathing. I felt my stomach drop. Dreadful thoughts of what might happen if I didn't do something began to fill my mind. But what in the world could I possibly do? CPR?
I don't know what that is. She's not breathing. Help her. Please save her. Oni-sama, please wake up.
Okay, but I need to concentrate. Can you find something to dry her off with?
Right.
Great. A mage without a revive spell. As if trying to steal my nerves for what I was about to do, I muttered those words just before leaning in. All I could remember from my first aid training was the patient had to be in a so-called recovery position, and that I had to blow air into their mouth and push down on their chest. My heart pounded faster and faster as I looked down at the fox girl. I could feel my cheeks heating up as a blush spread across my face. Clumsily, I put her into what I had hoped was the right position, and slowly I lowered myself toward her face. My lips parted. Wow.
If you were this desperate for a kiss, you could have just asked. I know I'm a beautiful, exquisite creature, but pushing me into a river so you can play a hero is a bit much, Taka-kun.
It's not like that. I wanted to save you.
Oh, why thank you, O valiant hero, for your rescue. I must admit I'm not the greatest swimmer. But you know, it's often better to get permission from the maiden you've rescued before you claim them as your reward, silly.
I didn't have a choice. I either claimed your lips or death would claim you instead.
And a bold choice that was. Where's Mayako? I hope she didn't try to save me first. She's even worse at swimming than I am.
She's fine. She should be heading back here. She should be heading back here right now.
In that case, I believe we have enough time. So how about it, Taka-kun? My little sister will be back in a few minutes, and I'm sure a boy like you will probably have never kissed a girl before. So how about it? Want to claim this maiden's lips?
Don't make me toss you back into the river.
Aw, such a shame, too. I was looking forward to finding out just how sweet your lips tasted.
I'm not sure I want to find out what a wet fox tastes like.
Oh, I assure you, I taste a lot better when I'm wet.
For some reason, I don't think we're talking about the same thing anymore. I felt my cheeks flushing up slightly as Machiko's teasing words, and I awkwardly scratched my cheek. Anyway, at this rate, you're going to catch a cold.
Then perhaps you should warm me up, Taka-kun.
More importantly, we need to get you out of those soggy clothes.
Oh my, Taka-kun, so bold. Please, won't you unbutton my top for me?
If you insist. My fingers shook as I reached down to the laces of her bodice. I was blushing brightly, and my head was spinning as I felt my fingers touch the cloth. Before I could continue any further, I heard a whoosh behind me and felt something heavy impact against my body. My body toppled forwards and I felt a nasty blow to the back of my head.
Oni-sama, I brought the... Oh no, Takahiro!
I could barely focus as the blonde fox girl began to fuss over me, but it was no good. Between running my butt off all day and the tsundere tyrant, The following rescue and now the blow to the head, I felt myself slip into unconsciousness. Later that day, or it should be later tomorrow, we will see where the story goes from there. God, I'm gonna need a cold shower after that. Thanks for watching, everyone, and thanks for dealing with me bumping the microphone cord. I will see you tomorrow for another episode.
Boobs.
Lots of them.
Lots of boobs.